Okay, awesome. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another stream with Offensive Security. My name is S1REN, and today we're going to be covering a machine called Dawn-2. We're actually covering it this time, and dealing with some binary exploitation. If you happen to be watching this over YouTube, go ahead and skip to the 30-minute mark, and that is when the hard start period will begin. If you're with us on Twitch, thanks for being here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the chat. We have Piyush here. Hello, Piyush. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. For this machine, if you're still listening on YouTube, we will need a Windows, I used a Windows 10 ISO with VirtualBox. And I imported that Windows 10 ISO, did the installation. I then installed Immunity Debugger, and I also made sure to install Python 2.7.14, such that Immunity Debugger played well with Mona. So you also want to download Mona.py, and drag that everything in the zip file from the repository into your Py commands folder, actually. And you'll be ready to go as well. You can start this machine in PG Play, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. Until that time, we have about 30 minutes, give or take, to just talk to the community. Happy Friday, everybody. What the heck? Happy Friday. Like, dude, it has been a week. I don't know about you guys, but where I live, it has been hot. Super hot. Like, I'm outside for 10 minutes and sweating bullets. So, absolutely. Yeah. One more binary. We got one more that we're doing. One more that we're doing. Hey, welcome, Andy. Glad to see you, buddy. We have It's Sandal. Friday the best day. Cheers all. Cheers to you too, friend. And welcome to the stream. Can you guys hear me well? Is the audio too high? I remember today in our office hours, my other microphone was just totally flipping out. But I changed microphones, so back to my old Yeti microphone, and it should be working fine. It's not peaking or anything, it's all good. Hi, S1REN. Thanks for taking this time to do this. It sounds great. Yep, hear you 5 out of 5. Cool beans. Great. So, you are totally welcome. By the way, you are totally welcome. Did anybody perchance download a debug machine out of curiosity? I concluded last week that you will need that Windows 10 ISO, Immunity Debugger, Mona.py, Python 2.7.14, and all of that loaded to go so that we can run the binary in the debugger and kick its butt. Welcome back, Longfist. Glad to see you. You said something about YouTube when you started. Is this your channel or OffSec? So this is technically Offensive Security's channel. Make no mistake. We are Offensive Security, and I'm just here personally to help stream. We have a bot command here. There is our YouTube channel. Make sure you check out the playlist. Basically every single one of the streams that we've done over the past almost year and a half has been recorded and uploaded there. And any ones that weren't will be redone and put into that machine playlist walkthrough. Hi, S1REN Heart. Well, heart back. Rippling, Ophelia. Rippling. Welcome back, Rippling. I remember. Let's see. But yeah, this is Offensive Security's channel. Make no mistake. Seems we don't have too many viewers today, but that's cool. And I am going to change the title to Box Walkthrough. We're going to say this is Dawn-2, PG Play, Binary Exploitation, Walkthrough with S1REN. And got it. Sorry, I meant, were you streaming before starting this? I'm not sure I totally understand the question. Nutjob says, is there an image for this week, or do we build our own? So I'm not sure also what you mean by that. I use like VirtualBox with the Windows 10 ISO, and I import the Windows 10 ISO into VirtualBox and create my own hard disk. And then I take a snapshot of that, and I use that, so that I'm just good to debug whenever I need to. Hello, it's Chibaru. Welcome, Chibaru. Welcome. Only another week and a half until DEF CON, everybody. I'm gonna be at the Packet Hacking Village. Yeah. I'm gonna be at the Packet Hacking Village. Packet Hacking Village, and I'll be staff there for about a week, setting up, managing, having a lot of fun. Yep, today's Dawn-2. Tachibaru. Correct. S1REN, have you crashed your targets in real pen test ever before? No, but there were conditions where I know it would have led to a crash. And to avoid that, I would duplicate the stakeholders' environment in a private network. And like, I mean, who better knows the configuration than someone like me? I'm the assessor. I'm the one assessing the configuration. So I set it up pretty much an exact match of what my target was. And I showed them that, you know, this would have led to remote compromise, though the service, a particular service, would have come down. And that was at least able to demonstrate the impact that it would have had. But I have had situations where it's been close. It happens, man. That's why we do things in test environments with pseudo data. It just happens. Fact of life. Happy Friday to you too, Choppy Floppy. Happy Friday to you too. Glad to have you here, buddy. Glad to have you here. I guess many people aren't too much into binary exploitation as much as I am, but we'll see if more people join. Mr. Mind 94. Either way, guys, we'll have some fun. Hello, S1REN. How are you? Kali WS versus Kali on a VM. What do you prefer, and why? Both. Sharky1412. Why Dawn-2? Already done by OffSec. Negative. We did Dawn-1 last week. I said we were gonna do Dawn-2, but I misread the situation, and I did not go sequentially. It wasn't in my head. Dawn-1 and 2 were mixed up, so I hit up Dawn-2, and I'm like, surprise! This is a binary exploitation machine, right? And I was not expecting that, and that's just a whole separate can of worms. But Sheldred says, hello, people. Andy, I'm very much into the binary exploitation, starting my EXP301 now. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Kick butt. All right. I'm all about the bins. All your bins belong to us. That's right, dude. So, I mean, people were saying I was doing too much web exploitation and stuff. Others loved it. And you just get a mixed bag of everybody, really, that has, you know, wants this or wants that. And I'm like, okay, I'll do a couple of binary exploitation machines and make sure that we keep it, you know, pretty well rounded in that regard. I like this kind of exploitation. I'm a software developer. Says Phi. Well, Phi, that's awesome. Rock Your World Sky High says, you sound like a noob. Are you one? Yeah, totally. Very. You know, I remain humble, though. I stand on the shoulders of giants, and I'm always willing to learn. Yeah. You develop, we destroy? Perhaps. Perhaps, perhaps. Been watching your box video, says Bramble. Wow. Good to know. Cool, cool. That's good. Yeah. I'm a nude, but Benix sounds awesome. Yeah, Benix is pretty awesome, man. It's fun with a capital F-U-N. Rock Your World Sky High says, good to know, dude. Yeah, totally. No. Total noob over here, man. I'm always gonna be the noob. Always just learning from somebody else and standing on the shoulders of giants in somebody's shadow, as someone's told me once. So, you know. A few things here and there about computers. Shell Dread says, always noob is the key to be rock star. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. Wink, wink. Tricky J says, super tired and sleepy. Sorry, Siren. I will drop out. That's no problem. That is no problem. I understand. It has been a long week. I don't know about for everybody else, but it has been a long week. And, yeah. I get it. Just make sure you check it out on YouTube, dude. This is a good one. DTH says, hello, Siren. Fire! Welcome, DTH. Glad to have you. Phi, I like to be an eternal leader. Heck yeah, Phi. Always learning, always growing, always progressing. You know? Always feeding your mind. Feeding yourself. You know, I gotta feed myself with the stuff that I learn. That's how I feed myself, so to speak. Siren, do you enjoy being a pen tester? I want to be one too, more than anything in the world, man. Best career decision I ever made in my life. Best career decision I ever made in my life, hands down. Dawn-1, have a question. Siren, is it possible to hack Avashi? I'm not sure about Avashi. I've not heard of that before. That might be a machine. If it's a machine in PG or practice, then yes, by definition. It's almost 11 p.m. here in the EU. Wow. So you're relaxing, having a good evening. Cool, cool. That's good to hear. Yup, yup. Yeah, last week was Dawn-1. Correct, Sharky. Correct. View count slowly trickling up. This is, again, Dawn-2 on PG Play, binary exploitation. Have you got the Wi-Fi OffSec cert under your belt, and is it fun? I haven't taken the cert yet, but I am fairly familiar with wireless exploitation. Fairly familiar, to say the least. I also have a pretty cool watch called a D-Stike, which is like a taser, but for the Wi-Fi. So I could tase my Wi-Fi and knock every device off it in like a second just by pressing a button. It's pretty sick. But other than that, I'm also working at the packet hacking village, setting up those machines and configuring them and getting everything ready for the events there at DEF CON. Once a year, I work for once a year. I'm working at DEF CON out of the packet hacking village. So yeah, plenty of experience, man. Totally. Friday night is hack and chill for sure. I like that, hack and chill. Here for the swag. What are the chances of getting a stream where the box is picked at random and done with no preparation. I think I've learned more by watching people struggle than any other medium. Not sure exactly how to answer that question. I've already done all of these machines regardless. So that would be a tough one to just find a machine that I've not done. Um, I mean, I was like at one point rank in the top 10 on the leaderboards on PG, and I've been doing all those VulnHub machines for years and years and years and years, all the time, hundreds and hundreds of machines, man. And that's not to exclude real world as well, so yeah, it's the best way I could put that. Hello, fellow hackstores. Welcome, Saki. Avi is a zero configuration system on Nix. Open source version of Bonjour Protocol from Mac. Ah, that sounds cool. Coward's Play says, sup, what's up, buddy? What the heck is this Avahi? Gonna take OSCP next week. I'm hyped. Heck yeah. Rock on. You know, stay hydrated. Make sure you're eating a lot of food. Scheduling your sleep. Make sure you've got your notation laid out and ready to get that bling bling, dude. Poet00360 says bling bling. That's right. Bling bling all the way home. Coward's Play says, I'm on vacation, but I would not miss this stream for the world. That means we're doing something right. We are definitely doing something right. Poet says, S1REN, I'm a fan of your style. Appreciate it, buddy. Speaking of style things, 13 minutes left until we begin. 13 minutes. So go ahead and spin up Dawn-2. And, yeah, it's safe to say you can go and download the binary. I will walk you through that process if you're watching this on YouTube. No worries. CS Fortune subscribing with Prime for 3 months. Wow, thank you very much, CS Fortune. Thank you very much. I don't know what it is, but just not many people today, I guess. All good with me, man. I'm just here to help people. Nah, don't cry over it, Poet. Small crew is fun too. Remember that. Small crew, fun too. Oh, you're gonna stop by. Callie Max is gonna come see me live at DEF CON. That'll be fun. Heck yeah, stop by the PHV. For sure, man. And without question. Oh, I'm not just gonna be at DEF CON this year. I mean, I am going to be helping. I'm staff at DEF CON. I'm gonna be helping set everything up and tear everything down. Beginning to end, my friend. I see some people have me up on their big screen TV at home. That is a great way to learn as well. That's actually kind of cool. Very cool, very cool. Let's see here. Hi there, I'm good in IT. but have some problems with some IT things, I think you mean, like security, assembling, and other specific things in pen testing. Could you explain more about Pen 100? Is it... Yes. Yes. Pen 100 all the way for you, buddy. Without question. Someone says, got you on a 77-inch. That's pretty cool. Kimuchi. What kind of TV am I on? What is this thing? I'm trapped inside. What are the specs on this thing? Bling bling, Kiyoshi, or Kimuchi, bling bling. I'm inside your TV now. I think it may have spread to DTH's television as well. Yep. Cool looking room. Very cool. Like it. Like the style, like what you've done with the place. How's that frame version, huh? Ever hack a smart TV? No comment. Will I be at the Red Team Village? I was on TV last year at the Red Team Village, congratulating the winners on their AWAE, Advanced Web Attacks and Exploitation. 90 days, we gave away 4 vouchers for 90 days to those winners. So, definitely going to be congratulating them this year as well. Looks like I'm in a 65-inch TV as well for DTH. Nice settings, decent specs. I like the RAM. Very good, DTH, very good. This is why you disabled smart features? Turn those back on, I need those. Kimuchi? Oh, I'm having too much fun with that. I've never been on a TV before, other than DEF CON, so very cool. Well, guys, we really only have about 7.5 minutes left. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns regarding Dawn-2 and this executable binary we're going to be hacking up today, please let me know. Andy says, is there a way to get involved in DEF CON's organization, like a volunteer? Yeah, heck yeah, man. So, I can tell you this. Yeah, we're putting out a laptop this year. It's going to be on a little table, kind of like in the middle of the PHV, and we're going to have basically a web application up that you can just volunteer on, you know, put in your information for the next one, or even for the current one, I'm not sure. But if you want to help out and volunteer and help me build the Packet Hacking Village, take it down with maybe like a couple dozen at max other people, then yeah, we'd appreciate your help and support, friend. Plus, I mean, come on, at the Packet Hacking Village we get all the good tunes, all the music, the DJs. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the nostalgia people like to go there too as well over the years. This is why, yeah. Well, it looks like we have 6 minutes on the clock. 131 people. Won't participate this year, says Andy, but was hoping for the next one. Totally cool, man. Totally cool. You don't have to participate this year at all. You should be able to sign up for next year if you're interested, and we have a little group for the Packet Hacking Village, and we'll get in contact with you. Like I said, I work for them one week out of the year. I am staff. Thing is, we often get a lot of people that just want to volunteer, and it's always like, well, this person knows this person, and they brought them in and knows this person, and it's like, man, we have a lot of sensitive equipment half the time, so gotta be careful sometimes. Again, I will post a link to our YouTube channel. There we go. And with 4.5 minutes on the clock, we are ticking down. And, heck yeah. If you can tell, if you can't tell, I am a bit tired today. It has been a long one. Been cramming out some work today. Getting stuff done. Making sure stuff is done right, too, at the same time. So, a little brain dead, but not enough, not too brain dead to, I might stumble on my words, but not too brain dead to do some binary exploitation. So, we'll be good. I'm teetering on zombie mode. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. You ever like studied so hard for something in college or for an exam and your brain just has no energy left? You couldn't even think if you tried. That's what I call like going total zombie. I'm not there yet, but I might be by the end of the stream. Have some coffee to charge it back? I mean, I might, man. I got some vitamin water here, so. Is this stuff caffeinated? Nope. It's got some B12 in it, though, which is, yeah. That's good. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and we will be launching. So cool to think that I'm on some people's TVs. That is awesome. S1REN, is it currently nighttime in the United States? Negative. It is coming towards the end of the day, 5 p.m. Eastern. So, no. I mean, what? Is it nighttime? When does nighttime start, really, you know? Nighttime starts, I guess, like, what? 7:30 or like 8 p.m. I guess that's the way I consider the nighttime. When does it really start? I'm here in Vegas and it's blinding sunshine at 2 p.m. LOL. Wow. Hope you're going to DEF CON. May see you there, Topher. Woohoo, happy Friday. Welcome, Delano. Just in time with 60 seconds on the clock. $9 a.m. Saturday in New Zealand. Nice. 20 seconds. Ten. And we are live. Alright guys, so I am in Proving Grounds Play. You can see I've started up the Dawn-2 machine. And I've got the IP address ready to go. I am actually going to go into my terminal and export the IP as such. We're then going to load it up into the web browser. Actually, let's do a quick nmap of it. Just out of curiosity, SC, let's see. I'm not going to do any scripts or service versions. I just want to know the numbers, because I do know this is a binary exploitation machine. So I just want those numbers. Oh, the terminal is fired up, my friend. It is ready to rock. And we have port 80, 1435, and 1985. So let's go ahead and check port 80 real quick. I think the download would be here. Yes, it is. Creating the Dawn server. It can be downloaded from here. A client is currently under development. Okay. So let's go ahead and copy that. Copy root downloads dawn.zip to here. And let's move that dawn.zip into the bin directory. And we'll unzip Dawn. So there is a README. I guess we can read it. Okay. Dawn multi-server version 1.1. Important. Due to the lack of implementation of the Dawn client, many issues have been or may be experienced, such as the message not being delivered in order to make sure the connection is finished, and the message well received. Sent a null byte at the ending of your message. Also, the service may crash after several requests. Sorry for the inconvenience. So it looks like when we're fuzzing or sending along bytes, we're going to need to basically just send it with a x00 or null byte right at the end of our payload. Before we do that though, we need to make sure that we transfer it. So I am going to start up a simple HTTP server, go into my Windows machine. I already have Chrome up here, and we will launch that at HTTP 192.168.17 port 8000 / was it just Dawn.exe? And there it is. Great. Let's show that in the folder. Excuse me. And we will copy. What we're going to do here is copy this. I have a folder, virus and threat protection. Threats found. That's okay. That's fine. Let's go ahead and make sure tampering is off and real-time protection, just in case. Always like to double check that I don't go down some path or some road and, oh my god, why is this not working? And it's like, well, we had real-time protection on. So let's see. Come on, Windows, you can do it. Chugga chugga choo choo, and real-time protection is on, so we're just gonna disable that. And tampering was on, my goodness. I'm glad we caught that. So those are off, and our executable is here now. Turn on virus protection? No, I'm pretty sure we know what we're doing. So what we're gonna do is go to File, and we are going to open it up. And there it is, under my desktop in the binaries directory, Dawn.exe. Let's open it. And just like before, I think we're gonna have to click play, you know? Let's make sure this, actually that looks like OEM fixed font. That is the largest. And if we click run, see in the bottom right it says it's running. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, so now the fun part begins. We need to check what port it's running off of. There were two that I saw. So I am going to run netstat-a real quick, and it looks like 1985 is the victor on that one. So we know that our target port is, in fact, 1985 or 1985. I have a proof of concept already ready to go. You'll see importing socket sys struct, time and OS. I have my target machine, port 1985. I have our variables section and our payload itself. And then at the end I print the payload, we go into our main, and we perform a connection to the target host with the integer conversion of the port, and we send our payload. Then we terminate the socket file descriptor, or terminate the socket, and, you know, print evil payload of doom has been sent. Doom. Doom, doom, da, doom, doom. So, now that we've done that, we have the A's here, and what I'm saying is A's with the byte value. I want A's, right? But with the byte value, or byte representation of that, which is essentially, that would be the equivalent of like 0x, or not 0, but x41 as an opcode. So that would be the A. Now times 500, so we're going to be sending 500 of them along to crash this, and payload is equal to A. That's it. And we're going to clear this out. Python 2.7 on POC. And A is not defined. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, I said A's. That'd be it. And there it goes. The evil payload of doom has been sent. It has been sent. Which means, yeah, this has crashed. This is... But something is a little off here. Now, can anybody tell me, just by analyzing the crash, what might be, you know, a little off? Seems that the extended base pointer comes in here as all A's, but we do not manage to overwrite the EIP. And the ESP, right here, if we take a look at it and we follow it in the dump, is looking kind of interesting. It's got these, well, these characters and opcodes, these hexadecimal opcodes, translate to ASCII text and so on and so forth, before we even get to our A's. So let's remember something about, and I'm going to go to debug, this brings us into our next step. Let's remember something about what the author said. You guys remember the README? The README said to include a null byte at the end of the payload. That's right. X00. 0x Andy. You guys got it. Suhurai's got it. Nanopoc.py. And we will say plus x00. And I'll control XY enter. And run that. And wait a second. Connection refused. Have I even... Oh, I didn't hit run. There we go. Now the server's running. The evil payload of doom has been sent, and we are paused, and now we have control of the extended instruction pointer. So that's bling bling. I mean, if that's not bling bling, I don't know what is. We can send along any hexadecimal we want now, any hexadecimal codes that we want to point to any address that contains any, we could point to any address. I mean, we could really do quite a lot here. EIP overwrite, that's right, Piyush, we have EIP overwrite. So at this time, let's go ahead and take a look at the top of the stack. We follow it in the dump. And now look, the top of the stack is all those beautiful A's that we love so much. All those beautiful A's that we love so much. So, in theory, and I do have Mona here, Mona modules, in theory, might we be able to just search for a jump ESP? What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Let's go back to the CPU. If we look for a jump to the top of the stack, then our code would execute, right? Yeah, we could search for bad characters. I'm not really going to do that just yet. Not going to do that just yet. I am really interested in that code redirection. So, anybody, any takers? I'll repeat the question. We have control of the EIP. What is the first set of assembly instructions that we really, really want to execute? What are they? What address do we want the EIP to point to? And that address will contain like a PO box. See, it'll contain instructions. So what in our case? A jump ESP. There it is. Callie, Max, Bramblethorn. There we go. Jump ESP. That's correct. So what we're going to do is Mona modules. I like to load up the modules. And what we're going to do is essentially look for a jump ESP. What does a jump ESP equate to? Well, let's load up NASM and Kali Linux. NASM. And if we go ahead and come on, computer, you can do it. I believe in you. There we go. And we're going to say jump ESP. That's FFE4. So what we need to do is nano our payload, and we're just going to go ahead and say, well, actually, before we get to the payload, I'm getting ahead of myself, way ahead. We need to search. We need to search for that. So we're going to say Mona find and search for 0x FFE4, and we're going to say do that in the module of, and we did Mona modules. This one has no, it's false, 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 Dawn.exe, so we're going to do that in the runtime module of the executable binary itself. And unfortunately, guys, or was it E4XFF? Let's take a look. No, it's FFE4. 0xFF, or not 0, I always think 0x, but it's XFF. XE4. I can promise you, because if we look for an E4 FF, that will also turn up 0 pointers. So, guys, are we out of luck? There's no jump ESP in this case. Are we doomed? Are we doomed as much as our payload brings doom to things? No. We are not doomed. We're not doomed at all. There is another trick to getting an equivalency of a jump ESP. And Mona actually assists you with this. So what we're going to do is we're going to search the current crash stack frame. And we're going to search from the total bottom of the stack all the way to the top at the time of the crash. And we're going to search for... Oh, I think that's sticky keys. No, I don't want to turn on sticky keys. And we're going to search... did it? There we go. Okay. Whew. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for a jump ESP in a different kind of way. So what if I say we look for a push ESP? Would anybody be interested in the push ESP instruction? What if I go back into NASM? What if we push the top of the stack a little bit? Would that work in our favor? I'm intentionally leaving some things out here. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the chat. So, what does a push ESP equate to? Well, that's X54. So in essence, if we were to search for a push ESP, let's take a look and see what we find. Mona-S and \X and 54, which is the hexadecimal instruction, which should kind of roll out and transform into be interpreted by the processor as a push ESP instruction. I like what Bramblethorn is saying. We want to return from function attack. Yes, I like that a lot. So what if we search for a push ESP ret? I like that idea. Pushing the top of the stack, right? All of this at the top of the stack, and return to where? The top of the stack. So, Mona. And we'll say -s. And we'll say search that in Dawn.exe. And let's see what happens here. Oh wait, did I mess this up? Mona find, my bad. Mona find -s. Found a total of 272 pointers. Look at that. 272 pointers were found by Mona that equate to an X54. Now, will any of these work? No. No. What happens if we try any of these push ESP instructions? Let's see. ASCII, print ASCII, read page only. These are all read-onlys, it looks like. We don't really have much execute privilege over these. But you'll notice something else about Mona. Mona says, okay, I'm done. Only the first 20 pointers are shown here, though. For more pointers, I'm not going to display them all in the terminal. Just open find.txt. And that'll be located in the immunity debugger root location. So we open that, and we open it in Notepad, and lo and behold, my goodness, that's a lot. Oh, this is when, if you don't know what you're doing, my goodness, it can get really out of hand. It can get really out of hand. Like, if you don't know what you're doing, that's a lot. I mean, we have a page execute read. I mean, we could grab any one of these. We could grab any one of these at all. Let's take a look, though. I'm going to right-click and copy. And let's go ahead and say that we want to, well, first, let's do something a little, I'm getting so ahead of myself. What we need to do is we need to do the offset. My gosh. But I am going to note one of these down as a push ESP. We haven't even gotten to the offset, but that's okay. Just to show you can look at the side, you can analyze the crash for quite a while. So B's is equal to the byte value of B, times 4, and we're going to say unique. We're going to make one called uni is equal to something here, the byte value of this. And remember, we had 500 sent along, so we need to go back, create a pattern, or pattern create. I have an alias for this. And pattern create length of 500. And we got to find that exact offset. And then we'll really have control of the EIP. Then we'll really be rocking. So let's nano poc.py. And I am going to, instead of sending these A's along, I am just going to send uni plus that null character. And let's restart the debugger. Close, yes, enter, tab, yes, enter, file, open Dawn.exe. And we'll hit play. And let's build this up a little bit. Now let's send it along. Evil payload of doom has been sent. And we have that long string of unique characters. Let's go ahead and look at the EIP and then copy the selection to clipboard. We'll then just minimize it and we'll say pattern, or what did I have? Pattern offset, yeah. And 316, capital A, 4130. That's 316 A 4130. And it says, okay, I found an exact match at 272 bytes into the string. That means 272 bytes is our offset. So we're going to go back to our A's and we're just going to change them from 500 to 272. Done. And I can even remove the unique string and we can go back to setting this to our A's, except this time we'll include some B's and we'll include some C's. That way we can calculate and see roughly how much space we have at the end of the crash. So I want the byte value of a C times give me let's go big, 450 bytes, okay? So, does this make sense? Is everybody following thus far? Let's go ahead and look at the crash, and I think it'll all make more sense once we can visually interpret. Then we'll hit close. Yes, and again, we're going to go back to Dawn.exe. And it is going to start this, and we are going to resume the debugger, or resume execution, and we are going to send the payload. And that is invalid syntax, my bad. Forgot to include the byte value. There we are. And Python 2.7 still bad. And now I forgot a plus sign. I told you, it's been a long day. But we are gonna do this. So now let's send it, and there we go. So we have all of our A's, all these A's, and then 4 B's, B, 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 followed by a whole bunch of C's. And guys, what are these C's going to become eventually? What are the C's going to become? Why do we include those C's? The evil, that's right, the shellcode. The evil. That is where, that's why we do the C's. So we can basically clearly see how many bytes we have at the time of the crash. But it's been sent. So let's see. That's bling bling. 42424242. That means we have all B's here, right? So that means our B's came through, and then look at the top of the stack. We have all C's. All C's. Now we're ready to resume where we were, which was right here. And looking for those push ESP instructions. We didn't find a jump ESP, so we're looking for a push ESP in this particular case, or a push ESP red gadget. So instead of just searching through all of these, Mona has a little trick. What we can do is type Mona. I'm looking for a jump equivalent with a return to the ESP. It'll say OK, and it'll come back to the CPU window, which means I do need to go over to the log here. Come on. Oh, did it crash? It did not say OK. It did not like it. Nope, there it is. Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Did it go? Let's look at the logs. Okay, yes! Okay, so we have... Nice. So look what we got. We have a call ESP, page execute read. We have another page execute read, false, 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 and safe SEH, false, false, right here. So we have an address. Let me open up Notepad. And I'm going to copy down this address. So we have 345.81777. I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to stop debugging. I'm going to hit close, and I'm going to terminate this. And I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to open Dawn.exe again. We're going to let it run, and then we're going to hit the play button. Great. Now what we're going to do is right-click in the CPU window here, and we're going to click... Where is it now? It would be, I believe... Is it go to... No. Be toggle breakpoint. The idea is we want to make a breakpoint here. Aha, well, maybe it's under breakpoint, S1REN. Silly me. So, we have breakpoint, and then we want to go to add a breakpoint, or just toggle, I believe it is. No, that is not it. Breakpoint, toggle. Maybe we... Oh, no, I know what we do. We go to expression. 0x34581777, and we're just going to go to this expression. That's all we're doing. We're going to jump to it. Look at that. That's a push ESP, push the top of the stack, and then return. Well, let's select this, and then let's right-click on it, go to breakpoint, and toggle a breakpoint on it. So the program is running. Let's go ahead and minimize it And then what we'll do, in essence, is now we got to make some changes to, you named it, you guessed it. We got to make some changes here to our payload. We have the Bs, but we got to overwrite these Bs. These Bs have to be functional. They have to point to an address that contains the instructions that we want, that will yield code execution. So I'm going to create a new variable underneath C's called pushESP. And we'll say that is equal to the byte value. Actually, that's going to be struct.pack for little endian pack. Struct.pack, and then up to I, comma, and I should be able to paste it off my clipboard. Perfect. We got it. Boom. Now push.esp, struct.pack, up to I. Okay, that looks good. So what we're going to do now is overwrite our B's with a pushESP, with our pushESP instruction. You see how that works? See how that works? And then our C's followed still by that null byte. And let's say Python 2.7 on poc.py. Yes, it is running. Yes, we do have our breakpoint set. All things considered, when I hit the return key, guys, it should crash. It should, the EIP should execute our pushESP. And by the time it arrives at the pushESP, the debugger is going to say, not so fast. And that breakpoint is going to prevent any further code execution run by the processor. Sounds like a lot? It's not a lot. We sent A's. We sent the pushESPs. We sent some C's along. Evil payload of doom has been sent. And look at that. We're right back here at the breakpoint at the time of the crash. And what is that address? 345-81777. And what is the next code or next instructions to be executed? They are at 345-81777. Isn't that just a little coinky-dink? Huh. So, how can we visually see what happens after this instruction executes? Right? How would you see a crash if the C's were too large of a byte size? Will you be able to calculate them? I actually like WinDebug because you can easily do the math. But you can calculate from the base of the stack or the extended base of the stack or between the frame how much space you have at the top of the stack. That's what you always want to look at. Like if this were Windows debug or Windows debugger, you would say DDESP or DWord DSP ESP with a length of like, I don't know, 40 or 20. You could really do 10. 20 is good. But DDESP L20 or L10. And that would show you exactly what the top of the stack looks like. So, but this is not Windows debugger. Anyway, what we're going to do is actually single instruction step through the CPU. We're going to say, okay, CPU, I'm watching you. And I'm watching everything that you want to do right now. Which is, and if we, come on. If we step over, look at the bottom left here. See how that says step over? That's F8 on the keyboard. We're going to step over it. Boom. It moved down to the return. And then anybody familiar with assembly knows exactly what's going to happen when we hit that ret-in. Well, let's see what happens. And look at the top of the stack. We arrived at the top of the stack with all C's. That's going to be our shellcode. That's going to be the fun. So I hope everybody, I mean, that is very close to bling bling. This is exceptionally close. Exceptionally. So what we need to do now, in essence, let's go back to our payload. A's plus the pushESP plus the C's, we need to generate our shellcode. But also, we need to check for bad characters. So I'm going to replace those C's with some bad characters. Just going to right-click, copy, bring those over, nanopoc.py, and bring them down here. Boom. There's our bad characters. And we're going to check to see if there's what? Truncated bytes. We want to see if there's any truncated bytes. Did the program say, wait a second, at the time of execution, I need that one, or that one's going to interfere, or this, or that, or the other? And did it pull them out and prevent the rest of our code from being executed, the true evil. So we need to actually go ahead here and include our bad cares variable. See how that's titled bad cares? So we just go here, and instead of C's, we're going to say these are our bad characters. And all things considered, we should jump to 272. Our EIP should be overwritten with push ESP, right? And then we're going to see our bad characters at the top of the stack. And then we have our null termination statement. So I'm going to control X, Y, enter. My bash alias game is next level. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let's make sure we've restarted the debugger though. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I know this is fun, and it is pretty freaking awesome. I love this every time. So file, let's open Dawn.exe, and what we're gonna do now is hit the play button. And I hope my explanation was adequate because we are launching the payload. Launching a payload. And we have totally messed that up. Nanopoc.py. 1 second. Oh goodness. I know what I did. Okay, I'm gonna need to do this. I'm gonna need to let's say Atom ASDF no sandbox. So I'm gonna open this up in a text editor like Atom, and I'm gonna paste those bad characters in. Cancel through this, and we're gonna do a little search and replace fun. So here we are, and we're gonna search for anywhere that there is a B followed by a question mark, or followed by a quotation mark, and we are going to essentially place that with buff plus equals B, and then a quotation mark, and we're going to replace all. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and say buff up here is equal to the byte value of essentially nothing, and then we're going to increment buff plus equals the byte value of, and there's our string there, so that should be good to go. This one looks good. Buff is equal to that. Buff plus equal looks good. Okay, nanopoc.py. Let's just control K to get rid of all these lines, and boom. Am I missing a parenthesis? Oh, I have an extra parentheses. I didn't need the parentheses. An extraneous parentheses. Is this a buffer overflow tutorial? Yes, it is. So, dude, yes, it is, my friend. My dude, you are in the right place. I feel like Bill and Ted. You have arrived at your destination. So, and don't worry if you missed it. This will be on YouTube. Cool, love it. Awesome, awesome. So buff plus equals, and then we have that, bad characters. So I'm just going to say that bad characters is now buff. Control X, Y, enter, Python 2.7 on poc.py. And did we hit the run? We did. It's running. Good gracious. Ha! What in the heck? Evil payload of doom has been sent. And we are paused. And we arrive at our breakpoint. Push ESP. And I am going to hit F8. Step over. And resume. I think I have to actually get rid of that breakpoint. It totally mucked it up. No, it didn't. We have everything here, don't we? ESP. Let's jump to the top of the... One second. Let me follow that in the dump. Ah, yes, it worked. Okay, so 01, 02, 03, 04, 05, 06, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F. The point is, does this break it all before FF? Or do we notice anything removed or replaced, like with a squiggly or something? So that's the real point here, is do we notice any truncated bytes? And the answer, guys, is I'm not seeing any. Because if you take a look down here, where do we arrive? F1, F4, FB, FC, FD, FE, FF. No bad characters. Nope, since the columns all match up to FF. Correct. Top hurt. Correct. So we're going to debug close. That's good news for us. This is going to be all too easy. File. Dawn.exe. And we are so close to that bling bling. We're going to hit play. And honestly, I am just going to generate MSF Venom dash payload is to Windows shell reverse TCP. Lhost is going to equal, for me, this is local, but I am connected to PG Play. Make no mistake. We need to test this locally, and then we're going to go back and replace this, our shellcode, and do this if this works with Unix shellcode. But lhost is equal to 192.168.1.7. So I just want to clarify that. Lport is equal to 9090. And what we'll say is dash format is Python, and dash bad character is going to be x00. And what else are we missing here? Are we missing anything? Are we missing anything? Format Python. And that looks good. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we could do a dash O. We certainly could. We certainly could. Yes, Bramblethorn. How did we get the return after push ESP? Because we looked for it. Maybe we forgot the dash O. Maybe I had an extra thing here. We looked for it with what we essentially did. Once this is done, I'll show you the command that we used. It's pretty straightforward. We just did a Mona find for a jump and dash return of an ESP. Essentially, I hope that makes sense. Mona jump with the return of an ESP. Please don't fail me, MSF Venom. Okay, it might fail me. But it did not. It prevailed. Thank goodness. 351 bytes. And we're going to copy this. We're going to nanopoc.py. We're going to go down. We're going to get rid of these dang bad characters. We're going to replace them with all the fun. And then we're going to go, yeah, well, buff stays the same. We're going to do some not padding. Who am I kidding? Let's add another variable. Let's be clean and proper with it. Let's do a nop sled. So nop is equal to the byte value of x90. We'll say times 20. And we'll do some padding here. And it's got to conclude with the byte. This one actually has to conclude with the null byte. So we're just going to say before our shellcode, which is buff, we're going to say that is plus what? Plus nops. So let's review it left to right. And that's got to be nops with an S. Nops with an S. So here we are. Payload is equal to our A's. 272 actually to arrive at the door, which gets overwritten, 272 bytes precisely, which gets overwritten by our push ESP instruction, push ESP ret, which then returns to a whole bunch of, well, it returns to the, basically at this point in the payload, we're at top of stack, or ESP. This is where we're at the top of the stack. So we want to fill the top of the stack with 20 nops, which is up here. See how we have 20 nops here? Nops is equal to the byte value of x90 times 20. Nops mean do absolutely nothing. Correct, Zorlander. A nop instruction tells the processor do absolutely nothing. That is what a nop means. It means no operation, do nothing. No processor. You may not execute. And the reason we do that is because we don't want the payload to, or we don't want the processor to trip over itself. We don't want it to be running and have it, so fast that it forgets its shoelaces are untied, and it forgets that happens, and it trips on its shoelaces and nothing executes properly. We don't want that. So we want to add a little bit of padding, just a bunch of, do nothing. And we'll say, so that's our nops here. And then we have our payload, which our real payload, which is our shellcode here. SHELLCODE. We conclude with that. So all things considered, I should be able now to open up a new terminal, start up a netcat listener on port 9090, go over here and make sure this is running. And let me, while we're at it, let me make sure that breakpoint is not set. I'm going to go to instruction, or go to expression, 0x345817777, and yeah, that breakpoint was still there. So we'll say breakpoint toggle, and it's gone. We're clean, and it's running. Phantasma. And ladies and gentlemen, Python 2.7, fingers crossed. Are we gonna get the bling? You guys tell me when I hit the return key. Come on, someone say it. Someone say it. Say hit enter. Go for it. Yes. I see it in chat now. Bling bling is good evening, guys. Hi, teacher Siren. Yep, do it. Okay. Yes, hit it. Okay, okay. Just like that. Just like that. Bling bling all through the chat. It's a party. Game over. Blinging with the cat shades. What happened? Honestly, with buffer overflows, I would say check this out on YouTube and you will see exactly what happened if you just rewind. KO. That is a nice shell. Bling bling. Snub nose. Guys, we did it. We freaking did it. And I hope that was a good demonstration. But it's not over yet. It's not over yet. I'm going to exit the shell. I'm going to kill all netcats just in case something was running. What do we have to do now, guys? If config ton 0, PG play, our target machine is Linux, not Windows. Our target machine's Linux, dude. It's not Windows. Look, let's go to PG play. Dawn-2 is a Linux machine. So what we need to do now is make our payload compatible for a Linux machine. So we're going to get 2 blings today, my friends. 2 blings today. And what we're going to do is say MSF Finum. Well, we can just go up, can't we? Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? And lhost is equal to this. This is my OpenVPN ton 0 interface IP address or INET address. And oh, well, instead of Windows, I got ahead of myself. We need to also change the payload, which is the point, to Linux x86 shell reverse TCP. And format Python bad char x00 is still go. All right. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's see if we get it back. How small can we make this shellcode? How small? Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay, we got it. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is copy over the buffer, and I'm going to also just move poc.py so that I know, as a researcher, this is, you know, Windows working .py. That is a working Windows payload. That is working. And I'm going to copy Windows working now to Linux.py. And we're going to be working with Linux.py. And we're going to replace all this Windows shellcode with what? Our Linux shellcode. And I mean, that's it. As the variable, the variable for the shellcode is titled buff, for buffer, short for a buffer. But there it is. Fantastic, huh? Cool beans? Great. Because we also need to change the target. The port is still presumably going to be 1985. That's why we got that in map scan out of the way at the beginning. And what we're going to do is go here, 192.168.204.12. And I am going to actually see if this works. We'll see. Machine may be down, I'm not sure. But Python 2.7 linux.py and open up a netcat listener on 9090. Okay. Say it. You guys say it. I'm not going to hit the enter key until you guys say it. We have to be on the same frequency here, guys. I see engage. Go, go, go. What is this, Star Trek? What is this? Do it. Let's go, Potters. Let's fly. Well, we just flew over the wires, my friends. We flew through the freaking wires, and look at what we have. Look at us. We have now essentially a shell over the target machine. So I could just use Python 3, and I could totally just do this, and export term to 256 color, LL to equal this, and we now have control over this machine. For those curious as to how we had a Linux or Windows binary, you know, what is going on? Well, don't freak out just yet. This is why. We had wine running. You see? We had wine running. Now, in the interest of still giving you something to do, I am going to go ahead and perfectly easily, this is a cross-compatible payload, for goodness sake. So that is bling bling, actually bling bling x2. X2. So, in the interest of furthering your education, I want to inspire you guys to download Windows, a development version. Microsoft has one that you can download. You can get it loaded up into VirtualBox. You can do this. You can get Immunity Debugger downloaded. You can download Python 2.7.14, and you can move mona.py in that entire zip directory into PyCommands directory of Immunity Debugger. You can make sure it's working on Windows. You can make sure it's working on Linux. And then you can go for the privesc. I will leave the privesc to you, the students, on this one. I'm going to leave it to you guys on this one, okay? Because I want the core takeaway of this to be the binary exploitation itself, without question. So, I'm going to kill that shell, exit, clear, and I'm going to move linux.py to linuxworking.py. So now we have what looks like a Windows working payload and a cross-compatible Linux working payload in the event that Linux is using Wine and running the executable binary. So that is my extracurricular challenge to you. Don't just get Windows working, get Linux working as well. And then after you get Linux working, find the privilege escalation. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and check offensivesecurity.com. And before I do that, let me just go ahead and close out of this because it is absolutely bogging down my computer. My goodness, what is all of this? I swear. This is... oh, what is all of this stuff? My goodness. Let's close all of this and close this. Oh, my computer's freezing up. It does not like it. Power off the machine. And let's go ahead and head to offensivesecurity.com/webinars. And let's see what we got. We just recently had one, so you can go ahead and watch on demand between Jeremy Miller or Harbinger and Dayon Zilic, one of my colleagues in content development and R&D here at Offensive Security. And he's absolutely awesome. Dayon, if you're watching this, you rock, dude. And with that being said, let's go ahead and drop over here. Thank you guys so much. Let's look at the chat. How's that for concluding a Friday, huh? How's that for concluding a Friday? I hope you guys enjoyed this so much. I really do. I try to make these things exciting. Thumbs up. I'm seeing thumbs up and thank yous. Hardcore Hackers Unite. Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah. So thank you guys so much for being here, for being, continuously supporting Offensive Security and taking our courses. If you're interested in taking a course, just head on over to offensivesecurity.com. And with that, guys, I will catch you next week with another machine. Actually, I may or may not, don't take me verbatim, because I am getting ready to go to DEF CON, now that I think about it. So I might be packing for DEF CON, to be honest with you, and I may not have a stream until the end of DEF CON. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this official. I will not be having a stream until the end of DEF CON. That will be up through about August 16th or the week of August 16th. If you are going to DEF CON, please step by the Packet Hacking Village. We have a blast, we bump the music, we have a lot of fun, and we get people into this kind of stuff and wireless hacking, and we have a lot of games, and you're going to meet a lot of cool people. And you'll meet me, if you want to. But with that being said, guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch you the week of the August 16th. So, happy hacking, intruders.